Okay, fantastic. So welcome everybody. I'm just going to get straight into it. So who am I? I am Jake. I'm 24. I'm the proud father of 2 rabbits, a head full of dreadlocks, and my business, Deadlox Digital. So my business really helps other businesses with their online branding representation, content creation, and anything really to do with their branding and marketing. So as for why I do what I do, I've been loving making videos since school, and I've always wanted to be behind the camera and the production screen. And if it's not going to be obvious by the end of this, I have ADHD. So I'm a bit jittery, I'm a bit hyperactive. So I really struggle with my academic life. And ADHD really meant that I couldn't focus, apart from when I was being creative. But I couldn't really see a route to a regular career that would suit me, you know, with the whole ADHD, the way I look, tattoos, piercings, everything included. So I started developing my existing skills in my own time, and I picked up other skills along the way. And my mum pushed me to start my own gig. So do I use my skills to develop businesses? With the passion for everything sort of creative, I looked at how I could really use my skills, and I noticed how the market could really be improved by my services. So I started looking into what people exactly needed, and I kind of molded my skill set to form the basis of the products and services that I offer within my business. So I really kind of, you know, I had a bit of experience in graphic design. I looked into banners, for an example. Now, the most important point on here, why I'm even here talking to you, because as you can see, I'm from a very different field to all of you guys, all property whizzes, all of you, and I'm just here, young guy with, you know, digital skills. But basically, I see countless profiles with, you know, lacking that je ne sais quoi that's really needed to stand out. And I find myself doing really minimal things to actually improve the overall quality of my clients' online presentation. And I feel like, you know, a lot of you, and especially some of the people who are more like-minded to me on the creative side of things, I've heard a bunch of you guys are also similar. And I feel like you can all implement some of these things yourselves. So I want to show you a few different ways to optimize your social media, and then I'll be touching on the end of my personal speciality, which is YouTube. So an overview. First thing I'm going to cover is branding. Why even bother? I'm just going to talk a bit of why branding is actually important online, and, you know, detail actually why you should even bother doing it. I'll be taking a look at you and your brand presentation. So the way that you actually represent yourself and your brand online, and a few insights on, you know, things that you should be doing. The third thing I'll look at is improving your social media content. So whether that's things that you're posting or things that are already up there, just improvements that you could make there. And then optimizing your YouTube page. Basically getting the most out of YouTube. I think it's a great tool. It's not got very many limitations, and I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily use it to its full advantages. So I'm getting a dry mouth already, excuse me. So why to even bother with branding? You may think that your image and services stand out, but, you know, just like on their own, but from an outside perspective, and especially someone like me who doesn't, you know, doesn't sort of say fit in with the corporate scheme, you know, it can't really be seen. And trading with just limited brand representation or a logo, people can't even really see, you know, what you do. So be individuality centric. And I want to just take a moment to mention all the content created within this presentation is done by myself. So everything here is all mine. I should have mentioned that at the start, but I noticed right here. And that's why my branding's here as well. So be individuality centric. As it says here that, it doesn't have to be uniform, typical, sleek, corporate. I feel like you should present your brand as a full extension of yourself, your personality, and your goals. And referencing my own branding here, I love the 80s tech scene, arcades, neon, shell suits, for example. And I really went headfirst into my branding with this. I've heard a lot of what Gary Vee has to say about being authentic. And, in this business, we really are just trading ourselves as people. And a lot of people don't take his advice as literally as he means it. You want to show yourself in your most genuine, authentic form. So, yeah. So everything is now online. Most interactions now come from online spaces, and you really need to find a way to stand up to the massive competition that we all face. And it's kind of hard to be unique in these spaces, and kind of hard to kind of breach the barrier of some people's little caps that they have on their own online ecoverse. So you really need to kind of put up your strengths and find out how to represent yourself to that broader audience. So branding in relation to your reputation and relatability, sorry. So it's obvious that branding helps build reputation to your audience and relatability to those people within your audience. But the presentation of these branding elements is really key to me. And having limited or underwhelming branding materials, in fact, will kind of do very little for you, and can, in my experience, make your brand not look 100% authentic. Now, this links in to you and your brand presentation. So the ways that you present your brand, and as it says here at the top, this stuff really matters. On the first point, I'm only going to touch on really briefly because I think it's something that you should all consider, but I can't really talk about it much myself without an individual conversation with you all. So what improvements do you think that you can make, like business and brand specific? Like, are there any things that you think that you could change within the way that you're doing things, posting on social media, the way that you look, regarding your branding, representing your personality better, anything like that? That's something that you kind of need to be thinking about on the forefront. And it also says there, would you benefit speaking with a specialist about that? I know that a lot of people like myself, including myself, will have free consultation and will happily talk with you for an hour about things that you want to do and, ways to improve. So, think about that and think about making a call. And then second of all, using Canva templates for social media posts. It's obviously well known that pictures attract more attention than text posts, but it's not always easy and can often be quite a hassle to find something to go with every single post that you're going to make and every little topic that you're going to cover. So Canva is amazing. This presentation right now is done in Canva. That's how much I love this platform. It's so easy to use, easy to customize, and a couple of things about it here, which I'm just going to touch on this point. You can set up your brand palette. That means you can put on your logos, any colors, you can create a color scheme for your brand, have it all saved within the designs, within their online software. And then from that point, you can then go and customize one of their free templates to make it include your colors and logo, and then save that template for future use. And once you have a library of templates, you'll just breeze through piecing like all your visual elements for social media together. It's so easy to just create something on this platform. So I highly suggest you get involved. And 3, all about your links. So make sure that your links are visible everywhere. And no, I don't mean overwhelm your page with links. I just mean you need to direct traffic through your channels. So make sure your big social media posts have all the links to your other social media posts, so people don't have to click anywhere. Have it, linked in all of your other profiles as well. So on your Facebook, you need to put your Instagram, your LinkedIn, you know what I'm trying to say. all of the different things that you have, you want it on hand for all of your consumers and customers. And another one, which is really, to be honest, I think it's a real game changer. So as I've mentioned, everything's online now, and it's so common to just jump, apologies, to jump into a Zoom call like we are all in now, with any new contact with, people like you guys here. And a lot of people don't actually realize that you can upload your own custom background video. I see a few people in here have blurs and all those sorts of effects, but you can really brand yourself this way here. It's a really easy and impressive way to show off your branding without trying. I mean, when I come on to Zoom calls with people, they always mention it. I don't know whether it's because they haven't seen it before or whether it is genuinely impressive, but I think it looks really good and professional. You can make one up yourself on Canva, like really easy, but the customization will be fairly limited. But because of that, I, again, think it's a great thing to have. And I only charge like £35 for this because I just think everybody should have it. It's just really, really good. And another thing as well, profile banners. I notice a lot of boring, low quality, dull, incorrectly sized, just really, not well represented profile banners. Now, it's great to have a banner on your profile, but it needs to show the right things. My points here obviously are your banner should be concise and to the point. Text is for your posts and not your banner. You don't want to be crowding your banner with dialogue. You need to communicate that dialogue effectively. So, for example, on Mispa's here, I did this because he wanted all these different elements: Upwork, Fiverr, freelancer, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything like that. And I concised it down to the minimal thing that I could. And with mine, I have a little small box for my socials and a tagline there as well. So I suggest logo, tagline, symbols for the sites that you're on. Keep it branded, but don't overwhelm it with design. Now, on to the next section, improving the actual quality of your social media content. First thing that I need to say, hard-coded subtitles, if I can actually say it. What hard-coded subtitles are subtitles that actually appear on your video. You can't turn them on or off on the platforms that you watch them on. They are on there and they are there to stay. So obviously everybody knows, well, I say obviously, but the use of subtitles is, people who are, say, on a call like this and want to scroll something, in the background, they can read something whilst they're listening. And it also helps, auditory impaired people. And that's a big point of, I've noticed TikTok mentioning that a lot. That's a really good reason behind it as well. But when you use the social media's own platforms, and they're the soft coded subtitles, it can often look really dull. It can contain many errors, and it offers, no branding or any customization. It can also be a real big fiddle. So I would suggest hard-coded subtitles on your videos. Second of all, always use your branding. With this, I just really want to touch on use your brand colors in everything that you do, whether it's a little post and you can use Canva for that really easy, or whether it's in the copy. So, for example, using little emojis of the branding colors that I use, purple. And then 3, useful websites. I'm going to run through these really quick because might be running out of time here. Pexels, free stock images, high quality. Type in anything you want, and type in success, and it'll come up with a million images of different connotations of the word. Remove.bg. So remove.bg is online. It just removes the background of whatever photo. If you're trying to take a photo, if you've got a photo of yourself and you want a white background on it, remove BG. It completely isolates you from the background. Canva, I've mentioned before, but it's not just good for doing social media posts. You can do banners on here. There's honestly, there's so many templates that you can follow on Canva to achieve some graphic elements for your branding. And then Linktree. What Linktree is, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I meant to. It's a personal hyperlink. So I'm going to put my Linktree in the chat afterwards so that everybody can see what it does and everybody can hopefully check me out. But what Linktree is it's your own hyperlink, and it has little buttons for each one of your social media platforms, websites, portfolio pages, things like that. It's just really easy to direct people to your sites. Now, the last one, I invite everybody to screenshot this. Obviously, I know it's being recorded, but I think that this information could go a long way. I'm going to be posting online about this on my own social media. So in case you all don't see it, here we are. So my 3 main tips. The first one is don't try and get your whole script out in one take. There's no point in trying to stress yourself out with taking video after video after video. Just take a breath, take a breath and say your line. You get it wrong, it's fine, or you've done that point and you've maybe forgotten where you're up to. Take a second, look away, read your lines, come back to the camera, read again. Now, not only will this make it easier for you, it'll make it easier for anybody editing the video as well, because someone like myself or someone on your team, or even yourself, if you're able to do it, can just cut out those little bits in the middle and piece it together nicely. Second of all, when setting up your space, make sure that your room's well lit, and I'm emphasizing on the words well lit. So my room right now isn't well lit because I have 2 rabbits that would ruin my lighting setup. But what you really want is a room that's completely evenly lit. You don't want any harsh spots. You don't want any dark spots. You want it completely neutral all around. And the third thing is think about your backdrop. Now, you can put up a sheet, you can use a virtual background, or you can set up your space with, paintings on the wall, a bookshelf behind you, something like that. But it's always worth considering the mise-en-scène. Now, the mise-en-scène is what's actually in the frame. So, for example, your audience, whoever's looking, they're not just going to stare at you throughout the whole thing. They're going to want to, view other things as well. So, that you need to think about what you're really putting in front of the screen. Now, onto my last section here. Optimizing your YouTube page to keep traffic flowing. Now, I love YouTube. It's my favorite platform. I don't have a YouTube channel myself, but I'm going to make one just like, I've been meaning to for a long time. Like everything else that I do online, I'm just so behind with getting myself set up, but YouTube is great. So the first thing I want to touch on, because I'm already running out of time a little bit here, branded thumbnails. Branded thumbnails are really important, as small as they are both physically and in the grand scheme of things. It's so good to draw your eye, pick out your videos out of the crowd of other videos in there, and really bring people to keep consuming your content. Keep consuming your content. It's also best on thumbnails, as you can see here, to do large text and keep branded colors, but don't overwhelm it with text. Text is not for the thumbnails. You just want to have a big visual representation on there. Now, here I'm featured Jeanette Linfoot's channel. I worked on her things. What was it, last year before as well? I was working on her YouTube channel. I did a lot of work with her. So what you want here is your easy to access links. Now, if you can see in Jeanette's banner here, it has her website, her Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. And you want to have all of your links in your banner, in the descriptions of your videos, including links for anybody who's on your videos. You want to be sending people everywhere, and you want them to be in the about section of your channel as well. Now, the reason why I mentioned Jeanette's channel and I bring it up here, other than showing the links, is if you can notice the subscribe icon in both of these images is clicked and unclicked. So on the top page, that's your welcome page. So that's where you want to put a video to welcome people to your channel, or maybe you want to drive up views on a certain video and you want people to really view that video. That's what that space is for. And then when they click the subscribe button, and it's grayed out, as you can see in the image below, that's your feature page for your returning subscribers. So anybody who's coming back on your channel, Jeanette's put here, they wanted to watch a podcast. So that's the thing that she's put on there. So utilizing these two pages, that is kind of paramount for intros onto your channel. And fourth point is end screens. So as you can see, the lovely Laura Muse here and her end screen, which I made for her last year. So a lot of people forget or generally neglect to add in a section at the end of the video to allow the viewers to consume other videos and more of their content. So it's really worth having an end screen play here. And an end screen allows a link to their channel and a link to their whatever video or playlist that you want to promote for your viewers to watch next. So as long and thought out as it was, as long as it was, we're coming to the end. So I hope that I've wowed you all with everything I had to say. And I know it's a lot of information to cram in just 20 minutes. But the things that I do within my business, I cover video editing. So I take up all manners of video editing, really on a case-by-case basis. Graphic design and motion graphics. With graphic design, I do like banners and social media post images and things like that, little bits of branding. Motion graphics are the two mentioned things there, the Zoom backgrounds and the YouTube end screens. I also offer to manage a YouTube channel, so I can optimize it and get it looking really, really nice, and implementing all the things that I've just said here. Jingles and soundtracks, I haven't mentioned really at all throughout this whole presentation, but I'm an avid musician. I've been playing instruments for about 15 years now, and I've been producing music for about 5. So I can offer to do jingles or a soundtrack for the background of a video as well. And also on-site videography and photography. So that's pretty self-explanatory. I'll come with a camera, lights, and you tell me what you want me to do really there. And I can go through the whole process with you as well, from the very beginning process of getting all the scripts wrote and thinking out the video to the very end of shooting and editing it, and I'll offer it all within a package. So hopefully you've all enjoyed. Thank you very much for letting me speak, and thank you, Claire. It's been amazing to get an opportunity to speak to everybody. And if there's any questions, hit me with them.
Thank you, Jake. That was amazing. You've done really, really well.
Thanks.
It's really interesting. I think I'll be in contact. So there's so much that I need doing, backdrops and things like that. So yeah, definitely.
Go and have a look in the chat, mate.
Well done, Jakey. You did that good there, mate.
Oh, wow.
Go have a look in the chat, mate. That's
You're
gonna end up being like,
make me blush.
He's gonna end up being another panel member in a minute and sit in the room with his mum every other week. So she can do the systemizing and he can do all their other bits.
Oh,
so there you go.
Yeah, I certainly have a lot to say. I hope that's evident.
And honestly, amazing.
yeah, and your presentation was great, Jake. I love the way it looks. I know it should do really with what you do, but it really brought out your own branding as well. And yeah, and obviously some of the great work that you've done with some good people, Laura Muse, Jeanette Linfoot, me, obviously I'm a great
the best person on there.
But yeah, go and read the chat box. There's some good stuff in there, mate.
Yeah, so
I'll have a read and and I'll put my link tree in there if anybody wants to come and check me out. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, even though I'm really a newbie with LinkedIn. But yeah, you can find me on all these sites. I'll be more than happy to speak to anybody.
Cool.
Sound, mate, that was a spot on chat, that, mate. And your branding it's really on point and it looks mint. You know, it's like, you know, like Verve, like Neon, all that kind of stuff. There's so much